So welcome. Today, what our purpose for this video is to create our first ever Flutter website. So I'm considering you haven't built a lot of websites with Flutter, especially if you have. This is kind of a beginner video because we are going to start with the basics and get up and running, host our first ever website. Now, for this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide this video in three parts. In the first part, we are going to design and build our website and run it on locally. Then in the second part, I will show you how to host it on Firebase. In the third part, we will learn how to host our Flutter website on CodeMagic. If possible, the video is not quite long. I will try to comprise that in one single video, but if it took more than that, then we will try to have three parts. Okay, so the first part is basically creating our website or our project. So first of all, we will basically open up the terminal or CMD, and then just a second, sorry, Flutter create. I'm gonna name this, let's call it something like portfolio. Hope I'm not spelling it wrong. Anyways, let's create it, and what we will do, we will basically open Android Studio. This is the IDE which I'm using. You can use VS Code as well. I have VS Code as well, but uh, being an experience in like more than 2 years working in Android Studio, I find it more comfortable working on this. So if we click on open an existing Android Studio project, we just have to select that. Where is it? Portfolio. I have multiple of them, so it will be direct, I think. Okay, just open the project. This is a boilerplate code. Now, the first thing which you need to understand, you have to set up the environment and all for web. For that, you just simply have to go in the Google and type Flutter Web. There are many tutorials on this as well if you have any trouble in that, but simply you just have to go and there is a build a web application with Flutter. So you have to change the channel to beta, upgrade, enable web, and all this stuff. If you have any trouble with this, there are because there are some tutorials available for this. It will not be a very tough task. If you have any trouble, you can comment down. I will be happy to help you with that. Okay, so moving on, once that is done, if you're using Android Studio, one recommendation is there that don't directly create the project with Android Studio, because if you do, it is not creating the web file, this folder, which will be by which you will be able to run it on a web. So that's why you may have seen me right now that have created the project through terminal. Okay, so yeah, let's first of all try to run it. So when you will do that, you will find this Chrome web option. If you have already Chrome installed, I do, then you just have to select it and then you can simply run it. So it will build it for the web. First of all, I just want to give you an overview how it will work on a web so that you can see. So just giving it some seconds to be prepared. Okay, meanwhile, let me show you what kind of this is a website which I have built using Flutter. So this is a very simple website. It is, you know, if you have any experience building UIs in Flutter, you can easily understand this is simply a row, and it includes some sorry, this is a column and it includes some rows as well, like this one. Okay, so our app is running. Okay, so you can see this is kind of how your app will run on the web. You have how it works, right? So this is how it works. Now we can close this. This was just for the demonstration purpose. Now let me show you what we are building today. um, Actually, this is a different thing. We are building a portfolio today. So the first thing, when building any website, what I usually like to do, you can basically create um, a prototype for it, what exactly you want to go, like basically a wireframe structure. That's what we call. There are other tools as well. You can use a sketch. There are some online tools as well. There's one tool called Figma. So there are many tools, but I personally like to use XD, and because it's fine, it's working, and there is no issue with that. Okay, so the next thing is designing the wireframe for this. So for example, if you want to build a simple portfolio, we can simply have a profile image. Then we can have a text, and text will be simply your name. Okay, it's quite small. Just simply let's make it around 40, maybe that's fine. Yeah, I don't want to bore you with these like setting this up, and that's why I was simply saying that can build something like that, but making it small will not take much of time. So we can have something like lorem ipsum, I don't know what they call it. Hello, I am Sanskar Tiwari, and something like your introduction and something. Okay, then we can have different. Well, for a portfolio site, you can have a lot of things, because this is a kind of a a beginner friendly video for building your first ever website. I will not be going very big project for the first time. So this is an kind of an overview which you can see over here. As the logo, we will have a profile image, we will have our name, a little description about ourselves, connect with us, we will have these social links, and we will have two buttons. We can have one button actually. One can be like connect with me, or one can be download my resume, and that will be it. You don't actually have to use it, but if you want, you can have your this laser. So in this one, the things which you can understand, this is firstly a basic layout. Okay, talking about the architecture and the thing how I built this, basically this is a layout including of a column and row inside of it. I also have used this URL launcher. Okay, so you can connect different social connection with this, and the URL will be open. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started to building this. So first of all, actually, okay, that's what happened when you press wrong keys. Just a second, sorry for that. Okay, so we will get rid of all the code, and we'll start by typing import material dart. We'll say void main. Okay, inside of that we will have run app, and in that we will have my app, so it's gonna be stateless till we find we require a state or something we can have. By the way, this is a root, so we don't have to. Okay, so yeah, now let's make it a material app. This is kind of a standard, and if you are not able to understand this and all, I will recommend you to watch some sort of like a beginner friendly video for making a Flutter layouts. So after you have selected material app, now it includes one property is basically home. So we can have the code over here as well, but what I will recommend is to create another file for this, and I will say it landing page. Now we will open that, and let's just create some basic widget in this, and we will call this landing page. Okay, now for the home we can give this landing page. Now one thing which I usually do is basically remove and get rid of debug show checker mode. You may have seen the red kind of line or strip, you can say, over at the corner. And yeah, so it is set it up. Now let's get started with building what the UI we want. So first of all, let me get this aside. Okay, so first of all is we need this image. So where you can basically get the image from your, there we have it. I have a profile picture prepared. These are some social icons which I downloaded from flaticon.com. It's very useful website, and free of, all the icons are available for free. Okay, so yeah, we have this. So the first step is to get them in our project. So for that, we will go to the root directory, right click, new, sorry, yeah, new and directory, and we will call it assets. Now you can have a subdirectory in it and then call it, but as for this project, we are not going to use any other assets than images, so we don't have to do that. So we will go over here at the boilerplate code. You just have to get rid of the comment and make it assets. Sorry. So we will say assets and slash, then get rid of this comment. and I believe it's done. We'll click on packages.get. Okay, let me just scale it a little bit. Also, do let me know in the comments you're watching in mobile phone or computer, because the thing is, like, I think the quality of the video is, like, it is good because of the resolution is around 4K of recording. I may upload it in 1080, but the thing is, sometime you may not be able to see all these text. So yeah, do let me know in the comments if you're watching on mobile or desktop. So it will help me understand how I should make my videos better. Okay, so now what you have to do, basically copy these. Also, I do realize I'm saying basically a lot. Okay, now it is done. Then what you have to do is, let's build up the structure. So let me make it small so that we have both of them side by side. And okay, okay, so first thing first, we can see we have an image, text, 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 a row, button, and a button. Now one thing which I personally like a lot is the use of gradients. So you can see this is a gradient button, and similarly the background is gradient as well. So for that you can visit a website which is called gradientbazaar.web.app. Hopefully it is live. Yeah, it is made by, made by me, self promotion. Okay, so yeah, there is nothing ads or something. It's just a free website I built. It is built with Flutter as well. So yeah, so if you need any kind of like gradients and all, you can just pick any one of these from here. So we will use that. So now the first thing which we need to understand is how we are going to have the gradient and this. So we are using a container. We can use a child, and the child will be a column. Column has children, so the children will be these. Now before that, let me give that gradient background to it. So we will use decoration will be box decoration. Okay, and in box decoration, what do we need? We need gradient. Okay, now gradient are of different kinds. We are going to use a linear gradient over here, and in linear gradient we need colors. Now this takes a list, so we are going to use this, and then we will say constant color. Over here we are going to use hex values. Okay, so I will also show you how to use that. So for example, which one should we use? I am okay, let's go with this green one. So you just have to click on the hash code and it will be copied. Now it will not accept it directly, so what you have to do, you have to remove the hash and type 0xff. Over here ff is like the opacity and all, and yeah, that's how it works. Then constant color, and now using the second one, 0xff, paste that, remove the hash, done. Now if you want, you can actually give it kind of for example, if we want to have a different offset provided, for example, if this is our gradient. Okay, so what is happening, this is a light color at this left side and it is dark color at this right side. Now what if I want that to be like in, you know, like light in this and dark in this, kind of a little bit offset, right? So we can do that as well, but I don't want to go any complex, just very easy, simple. So not only you are watching, you are learning as well. Okay, okay, so now next part is in the column. So in the column, what we will do, we will have an image, and as you may already know, we are going to use an asset image. So we will say assets slash, what is the name, profile pic. I'll say profile pic, and then we have a text. We will use a sized box over here. I'm gonna give it a height of around 10 or maybe 12 would be there. I don't know. We'll play with these numbers, that's not a problem. Then we are having a text, so I will just have my name over here. After that, we will have a description. So similarly, let's go with another sized box, height Okay, then another text, pasted here. And of course we can do multiple things. For example, you can create another file over where you have all these text, and you don't have to clutter all your code, but that's not the purpose of video right now, to go in very details. But the main purpose is to get up and running with your very first Flutter website, most probably today itself. Okay, so we have the text now. We are going to use a size box again, height around, let's go with 12 again. After that we will have a text. Okay, and I'll say connect with me. So this is kind of a personal website, right? Now this is a row. Okay, so whenever you want to arrange the widgets, because it's all widget in Flutter, whenever you want to arrange the widget in a vertical manner, we use column. If we want to arrange them in a horizontal manner, we will use row. So this is a horizontal, so we will use row. Children's, and in children's we will have an image and not asset. What are the assets? Assets slash, we are going to have Facebook. Okay, make sure you are using the extension as well. Yeah, and size box, over there we used height, in this we will use width because it is in horizontal. So let's go with something around 12. Also this row, what we can see is I will show it when. So then we will have let's go with Instagram dot png, correct. Okay, so we have Instagram, then we have we don't require a meetup. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitter. Then not important. I think 3 will be enough. Okay, so we have the icons now. Now we need a button. So this button exactly, actually I used a container for this. So height, I will say we require a bit more, but as I said, we will play with these numbers when we are actually, doing that. Once now we have a sized box. So sized box is basically the distance and giving a space between these. Now for this button we are going to use a container, and inside the container, sorry, we are going to use a child, and we will have a text. Okay, so what kind of text should we have? The first is down resume, or download my resume. So this is a one kind of button which you can have. The second one which you can have is 20 container, is we already have given him option to connect with you on different social media. Okay, yeah, one thing which we can also have is like show my portfolio on LinkedIn, something like that. Quite popular. LinkedIn is very popular nowadays when it comes to, fiction and stuff. So we can have that text. um what is it, profile on LinkedIn. Oh my god, show me on LinkedIn, whatever. Let's get rid of that. This is fine. Okay, so this is a basic structure we have prepared. So now without any further ado, let's run it. And hopefully you are able to understand most of the things which we are discussing. I am trying to make it as easy as possible, even if you have not even built layouts with Flutter. But still, if you have any doubts, you can feel free to comment down, and I will be happy to help. Okay, one biggest problem which we did We need to use a scaffold. Scaffold actually provides all this, material properties. This is not what we want. Okay. hmm Okay, so now you may be like, this is not what we expected or something, but it's quite the structure which we have. Now we will work on these step by step and see what's the problem is. So now the profile pic is not loaded. So the reason for that can be misspelling maybe. Okay, correct. JPEG. Next. We don't want that big of an image. That nothing is there other than that. I think around 150 will be enough. Let's check it out. 150. And also it's not looking good for square shape or something. We can have something like clip or react. This is used to get circular edges. We can say border radius dot all radius and dot circular. I think 20 will make it circular. I don't know, maybe it's very small, so we need to go for something like 70, or we can have something like this as well, a little bit square, a little bit, depends on what your requirement is. I'm preferring to go with a circle. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, next thing is, it is very like it's in the top. We don't want that. We want it to be in the center, so we will go in the container. We can say alignment dot center. Okay, so it's not getting aligned. What we can do, we can go in the column. We can say main axis alignment. What is main axis alignment? Column is vertical. Okay, so vertical is its main axis. So now we will align, we'll give the alignment for main axis. So we want the main axis alignment to be center. hmm okay, seems working. Now next step, text is very small and it doesn't look good as well, so we are going to give it some style. We're going to say text style, and I'm going to say colors start white. Then what we have, we can have some font size as well. What about 18, maybe 20? Looks good, I think, right? Then we can have some kind of font weight. While font weight is looking good, but I just want to have it so that we can differentiate between the description and all. This is really big text, very bulky for being in the code. So I'm just gonna get, I know it's already 24 minutes, but if you are watching, thanks for being here. I really appreciate action takers, and because most of the time what happens is we start something but we don't end. But okay, description. Hmm. Yeah, we're just getting rid of that string. Okay, so we have that. Now we can give it a style. So we will say text style. By the way, if you want to change the font style to something like, for example, if you go to Google Fonts and any particular font you want to use without, like have to download it, import it, and use it, and then if you don't like it, then you have to do the same again and again. You don't have to do that. I have made a video regarding this, how to use these with a package called Google Fonts. It's recently being sorry, Google Fonts. You have to type pub.dev. Okay, this one. Okay, I don't confirm. Anyways, so I have made a video regarding this, so you can check it out. It will the link, I will link it in the description as well. Okay, moving on, we have the text. Now, one thing you need to understand about text is it is kind of aligned in the left side, and that is how any text is aligned normally in English language. But we want for this particular that it should be in the center. So what we will do, we will have, where is it? This is okay. So the first thing, let me first give the different things like font size. I'm gonna go a little bit lesser than our name, and then we will say color. Sorry, colors dot white. And for the alignment, what you have to do or you can do is alignment and text align dot center. Save that, and okay, that's not good. What is it? Yeah, it's looking good, but I think the size of the text is quite bigger than what we need. And also, as I said, they given the font weight to this. We need to differentiate between these, so we can say font weight dot 300. Kind of not very good. One thing which you may be noticing is that because this is a kind of light background, this is not standing out a lot. But that's a different thing. Before that, we need to have some kind of padding as well because it's like aligned to that. So we will just wrap it with a container. We will have edge insets dot symmetric is perfect. We will say horizontally around 30-40 is what should we go with? 30? Should we go with 40? Okay, that is fine. I do think, like the color which we have selected should be kind of a dark color. We have that. We can go in Bazaar and Gradient Bazaar, and we can use some good colors. Let's go with the same color, I think. By the way, this exact color codes, I don't think I have made it a public repository, but yeah, you can actually get it from this Tinder Gold redesign. You know, I have shared it on my GitHub. Model views, we're going to main dot dart, no, views, chat screen, conversation screen, chat screen, and we can get the colors from here. Just getting the dark color so that our white background looks good enough. Okay, where are you? This is it. Okay. Color does matter a lot. So one thing which you should do, or I should do right now, is increase this to something bit more like around 50. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, then we will go with connect with me. Connect with me will have a style. This is kind of being a bit repetitive, but you can do side by side of me. Font size, font 14. 12 seems fine, but I just want it to be a bit more spaced out. Okay, seems fine. Now we are over in the row. We will give it height. So width will be, what? Let's go with something around 25, I believe will be good. Yeah. And by the way, we are missing one thing. We want to launch a URL when we click on something. For example, if we click on Facebook, we have to launch a URL. So we will go in URL launcher, pub.dev, URL launcher, installation, copy the latest one, go to pubspec.yaml. Below this, paste it. packages.get, close this. Okay. It's done. Go to readme. Now we can make this a state full. I'm not sure if it's 100% required, but problem in that we can do that. And over here, because we are not going to just use one URL, I'm going to get rid of this and just saying it needs to be string URL. So we will pass the URL whenever we call this. Import. Okay, so we have that. Now surround this with a widget that will be gesture detector. You can use Inkwell as well. Inkwell. Okay, and we will have on tap on this. On tap, we will say launch URL. What is it? It is a Facebook. So I'm going to go to Facebook. My URL is this. I am Sanskar. I'm going to click on launch URL. Then we require, yeah, then we require to do the same, width and height. You can just copy this. Okay, how to do so. And gesture detector. On tap. Launch URL. What is it? Instagram. Okay, Instagram, the Indian app guy. Actually, I got the Indian app guy, but I somehow forgot the. Okay, now it seems fine. Okay, we should have a semicolon there. Okay, what do we want next? We want to have it side by side. And now we have given this a width, right? Now let's click on this gesture detector. Gesture detector. On tap. Launch URL. What is it? It is Twitter. Twitter. Where is it? Indian app guy. Yeah, and also one thing I do want to mention is I recently made this a full landing page with Flutter. It's fully responsive. So, yeah, just because it's what you can do with Flutter. Sometimes people think you cannot build very complex or something, but you can. It's very possible. It takes more time right now to load. It's in beta, but it's okay. So this is how the website is. It's a full-fledged website. Actually, I have like paid personally because initially when I developed this particular app, I bought a theme from Theme Forest around for something, but I kind of replicated the same theme but with Flutter. So if you have any app you want to launch, you can get this for free, 100%, nothing required. Just visit my GitHub and it is available over there. So yeah, you can just see how easy it is. And like, for if we talk about mobile phone, it looks great on that as well. So it's fully responsive. We have multiple screenshot. Sorry, let me have it like this. Okay, we have multiple screenshot. You can go through. I don't know, means if you will browse this on phone, it will not be that seamless experience. I don't know why. I have listened it's a framework issue, but it's very seamless in this. I am personally I do like this a lot. It's one of the biggest kind of website which I have built personally right now with Flutter Web, but we'll build more. Okay, now what next? I think most of the things are done. Where is it? Save it. Not possible hot reload. I think we have done some error over here. Okay, whenever this happens, this is what works for me. I just close it and run it again. uh, I don't find another way around it. I think it's because it's not able to follow something. I don't know. Okay, so one thing which you were noticing maybe as well is that this all these icons are in the center, but in our website it was at the corner. So for that, what we have to do is go into the row. Now, similarly, like column, we use the main axis alignment. For row, the main axis is this horizontal, right? So we can say main axis alignment dot center. Oops, main axis alignment dot center, and save it. Okay, it's in the center. Congratulations. Now we can have size box and 20. Mhm. Now comes the part of our button. So we will go to the GitHub. Don't tell me I closed it. I did. We will go to views. I don't think we should go to conversation screen. I think this is the color. Okay, so how we get that gradient look? First thing first, in the container we will have paddings. That's important. If you are building a button, as insets dot symmetric, up and down around, I think 12 will be fine, and right and left we can go with 24. Awesome. Horizontal 24, vertical 12. Now we will say no gradient. First of all, we will say decoration, box decoration. Then we will say gradient. What kind of gradient? We want a linear gradient. What are the colors you want to use? These are the colors. These. Okay, save it. This is not anymore. Let's close this. And this is what we have. Looks good. Let's work on our. I'm coming that we. I do understand we want that. Okay. Text style. Colors. Dot white. Okay. Now let's make it circular. The edges. For that, we just have to go to box decoration. We will say border radius dot all. We will say radius circular. How much? 12. More than that, around 30. Looks good, isn't it? Yeah. So okay, now I think this text needs a bit more padding. I don't know. I'm just having this kind of feeling it doesn't look good with this. I'm just giving it a lot of padding, more of padding. It will not be good if we make it kind of responsive, like so. We should not go that big. Around 8 will be enough. 5 is enough, I think, because it is good with that. And as well as if we you know talk about the mobile phone as being responsive website. Okay, looks fine, but our social connections are not working. Why? I don't think Facebook works very well, does it? Okay, it's in that, maybe that's why not working. What about Instagram? Working. Twitter working. Now you may find this to be very space taking, so first thing first, I'm thinking it's looking a bit size more. I don't know why, but save it. Then it will be around 16. Okay, This will be around 30. It's a very simple website. You don't have to overcomplicate things, but I don't know why I do sometimes. Gesture detector on tap. Ta-da, tap, tap, tap. On tap. What do you want in on tap? We want to launch an URL. Which URL do we want to launch? So we should go over. Oh my god, I have opened it. LinkedIn. I'll go to view profile. Where is it? My resume. View. Sorry for that. I think this link will be good enough, or should I just directly link to my LinkedIn? That will be good enough. You can use whatever you want. You can use, Google Drive URL, whichever works best for you. Okay, so I believe it's live.